Happy Wednesday, everybody. Happy hump day. It is a hump day, isn't it? Last week went by a little fast. This week we're kind of like humping along. So, happy hump day. Welcome back to AC 165 Radio. This is your host, Dean, and we are the voice of AreaCode 165. It is beautiful outside. Beautiful Wednesday. Hope it's beautiful where you're at. Big weather change here. It was cold yesterday. Now it's warm. Allergies are acting up, running amok. But it's beautiful nonetheless. Take some allergy medicine. That's what I'm going to do and keep it moving right through every day. But welcome back. Welcome back. It is a beautiful day, as I said. It's a new day, right? And every day is a new day. New day for that we wake up on this side of the earth. And we're talking about being authentic and being transparent these past 2 weeks. And Monday we talked about being transparent. And being transparent, being authentic, technically they're two different things. They're similar, but they're different. Being authentic is basically being real with yourself, being real in situations, not over-exaggerating yourself, not over-exaggerating who you are, not putting masks on. So we talked about taking masks off. We wear masks for different reasons in different situations and in just different relationships. Being transparent means being open, being candid, okay? That means being vulnerable in some situations. And when we talk about being transparent, we talked about it Monday, so you can go back and listen to the Monday show. But we talked about being transparent to the point that we're not allowing ourselves to be hurt. So we have to put some limitations there. We have to know when to be transparent and when not to be transparent. So today we're talking about creating an atmosphere that will allow transparency and will also allow authenticity for the people that are in our atmosphere, okay? You control your atmosphere, all right? You are the gatekeeper. Your personal atmosphere is basically your sphere of authority, the things and the people and the places that you are connected to, okay, physically and spiritually. So what you allow in, okay, is going to dictate is a litmus to your atmosphere, okay? It dictates how your atmosphere operates. If it's positive, because you have positive influences, positive people, positive things going on in your atmosphere. If it's negative, it's because you have some negative influences there. And some people are balanced, okay? You're going to have negative things. You're going to have positive things. You can't just have an all-positive atmosphere. I know some people try to make their atmosphere all positive. You can't do that. There are going to be some positive and some negative things. You just have to have a balance. You don't want negativity to overwhelm you. So as the gatekeeper and the authoritarian over your atmosphere, you dictate what comes in and what comes out, okay? Also, you have the power to influence others. We all have the power of influence. We either can be influenced by others or we can influence other people. Okay. Having said that, the people that are in your atmosphere, okay, you can influence them based on how they relate to you. Okay. So if you're a positive person, it's hard for a negative person to be in a relationship with you. Now we do have those people. Okay. We have those people who are negative and they're constantly sucking from us, right? Constantly drawing from us. And we said a couple weeks ago that we need to cut those people either down or off, okay? And cutting people off and cutting people out of your life and people leaving out of your life, let me just clarify. It doesn't mean anything's wrong with you. It doesn't mean anything's wrong with them. It just means that they cannot come with you on this part of your journey, okay? And we're talking about atmosphere. We're talking about being the gatekeeper and controlling that. There are some people that you're going to have to let go. Some people that you may be close to. Some people that could be in your family. Okay? They're just, it doesn't mean that they, think of it as a story. Okay? And I saw a quote about this over the weekend. Think of your life as a story. And you have different characters in your life. And you read a book, and some characters fade in and out of a storyline, all right? Some people are written out of a storyline. Some people come in occasionally. Some people are there for the whole thing. So you look at people like that. You look at your life as a story, okay? And some people are going to be there for the duration of your story. Some people are going to come in at different chapters in your life. And some people are going to be there from the beginning of the book, and then at the middle of the book, they're going to go away. Okay? And they may come back at the end, or 3/4 away in the book, or they may not come back at all. Okay? It doesn't mean anything's wrong with them. It doesn't mean anything is wrong with you. What it means is, it means that they cannot go with you on this next chapter. Okay? Their character doesn't fit. Have you ever read a book or watched a movie and it's like, why is that person in that story? They don't even need to be there. Same thing. You know, you got people, there are certain people that if you continue to allow them to be in your life and be a major part of your life, they can lead your story in the wrong direction. Okay? You'll never get to that climax, and the story's always off. Okay? So some people, and that's for each one of us. I'm not making you, I don't want you to feel like you're special, you're spectacular. I want you to feel that way about other people, because some people may cut you out. Don't feel like you did anything wrong. You may think they're moving in a different direction. You're not part of that chapter, okay? Does it mean you have animosity and anger toward them? No. It just means at this time, in this chapter, in this particular point in your life, you don't need to be there, and they don't need to be there with you, okay? And then sometimes, you know, you got to look at it, too. Sometimes we have to let people go in order for us to go into another direction, because we tend to follow people because we're connected, okay? We tend to follow people consciously and unconsciously. Subconsciously, we're following people. We want to do what they're doing because we want that community, we want that relationship. But we have to be open to new relationships. That's why new relationships are important, because new relationships will allow you to get to the place where you need to be. All right? Take your focus off following somebody else. All right? So if you find yourself in that place, and most of us are, because we're being limitless and we're pushing boundaries, we find ourselves in a position, in a place where we're letting go of relationships, and that's normal. It's necessary in some instances. Okay? And you can look at your life as a story. And that's why journaling is important. Okay, your journal is your story. So you can see where you're going, see where you've been. And you can kind of see into your future a little bit. See what's missing. Okay, you can get a journal anywhere. I did design one for those of us who listen to AreaCode 165. I love this journal. And I designed it like a book. Okay, and the reason why I did that is because I want you to I want your story to be tangible. I want it to be tangible to you. Okay, so I designed it like a book. It's very thick, and it's paperback, and it looks like a book. And I designed it that way so that when you're writing it, it feels as though you're writing a book. Everybody wants to write a book. You know, a lot of people, I should write a book about my life, and you can. It's called Journaling Track of Your Life. You can get it on Amazon. It's called Visions, Dreams, and Destiny. The journal. And it's on Amazon.com. I think it's like $12.95 on Amazon. So you can find it there. Okay? And if not, if you can't get that, you know, get a notebook, get what have you, but I designed that specifically for you so that you can feel as though you're writing a book. Okay? Again, it's Amazon.com, Vision, Dreams, and Destiny, the journal. You can find it there. Okay, so in this story, you know, you have your climax, you have your plot. So basically your atmosphere is basically like your storyline, so to speak. And who you are dictates who you allow to be and who is in your atmosphere. And our goal here is if we can't do anything else when it comes to changing the world and becoming a global unity, if we can't do anything else, we can change ourselves. Because by changing ourselves, we are going to change our atmosphere, and that is going to be contagious, okay? Because either you're going to change the atmosphere, you're going to change the people that are in your atmosphere physically by removing some people and allowing some people in, or you're going to change them. They're going to be, their atmosphere is going to change, their mindset is going to change. It's going to be conducive to yours, okay? So when we're talking about creating a supportive atmosphere, we're going to create an atmosphere that allows people to be authentic, that allows people that are in our lives currently, and allow people that are coming into our lives to be authentic and to be transparent. Because because that's what we want to be, right? We want to be real. No more masks, because it's too hard to keep up with the masks, okay? Now, this setup that I have is not only for being authentic and transparent, okay? Again, you are the gatekeeper of your atmosphere. So if you want positive, if you need more positivity in your atmosphere, if you need more love, you need more joy, you need more happiness, you want to create that in your atmosphere, these steps that I give you are going to help you to create that, to support that atmosphere for everything that you need, okay? Transparency, authenticity, joy, what have you, okay? So the first thing you need to do is you need to be sure that this is what you want in anything. Always got to be sure. This is what I want. I want to be authentic. I'm ready to be real, okay? Because as the gatekeeper, if you're not real, okay, if you're not ready to do this, it's not going to work, all right? You can't say, I want to be authentic, I'm going to be transparent, and I want everybody in my life to be that way, and then you waver, okay? Because when you waver, you come across as disingenuous. You come across as unauthentic, okay? You come across as a liar. It's not being real. So you have to make sure. And again, with anything, this is a process. It's not going to happen overnight, okay? You don't just get up and say, oh, I'm going to be real, I'm going to be authentic, and I want everybody else to be, and then it just happens. No, it doesn't happen that way, okay? But the first thing you have to do is to make sure this is what you want, that you're ready for this. You're ready to be authentic in your relationships. You're ready to take the mask off. You're ready to be candid. You're ready to be vulnerable in some situations, okay? Can't be wishy-washy. And once you come to that place, the second thing you need to do is you need to lead by example. Okay, you have to physically and mentally and spiritually begin to operate in that thing. Okay, so if you want authenticity, you can't expect people to be real with you if you're not going to be real with them. All right? So you have to begin to be real with people in your life and begin to be real in your relationships. That's the second thing that you have to do. You have to lead by example. And with anything. Okay, you want joy, then you have to be joyful. You want positivity, you have to be positive. So many people say, I just want positivity in my life, but they're the most negative people in the world. It's like, how can you expect to get something that you're not putting out? Okay, so you have to lead by example. The third thing you have to do is you have to be the encourager of that thing. You have to encourage authenticity. You have to encourage transparency. And you have to look, basically to encourage it, you have to look for it. Look for it in yourself. Look for it in other people. Okay? When people are being real with you, when they're being authentic with you, when they're being open and candid and transparent with you, recognize it. Acknowledge it, okay? Acknowledge it, appreciate it, and let them know that you appreciate it, okay? And respect it. What I mean by respect it, if someone is open with you and they're real with you, don't go run and tell their business, okay? Be respectful of their authenticity. Be respectful of their transparency. Don't go run telling their business. Don't go talking about behind their back, and don't judge them, okay? Because the same thing is going to happen to you, all right? Now, you're creating your atmosphere. When we did a show about the power of your words have power. I don't care. God spoke the universe into being. There is a power there. There's a reason why the Word of God has stood the test of time, because it is a spoken word. He spoke, it came into being. Okay? You have power in your words. So if someone comes to you and they're being open and they're being honest and they're being real, and then you go speak against them, all those words are going to come back and they're going to eat you up. I'm telling you. And I say this all the time. I've been saying this since the beginning, since we started the show. The reason I feel that there's such a heaviness in the atmosphere, in the entire global atmosphere, is because all of the negativity that has been spewed out. And it's just sitting there. It's just sitting and weighing heavy. You know, people are committing suicide and committing crime, and they're frustrated for legitimately what seems to be no reason. Okay, we don't see a reason for it. But all of that has just set into the atmosphere, and I think it's weighing on people, and it's permeating them, their being, you know. And that goes for your online life, too. We have to understand our online life is real. Your presence online is real. So don't think you can get away with it by sending an email or sending an inbox on Facebook or spewing out something negative on a blog. Okay? They're going to come back. That's still negativity. And you're wondering why. People tell me, oh, I got so much drama. You got drama in your life because you participate in gossip and backbiting. If you don't participate in that stuff, it's not going to come to you. Anything you put out is going to be attracted back to you. Gossip is one of the biggest causes of drama. Okay? So respect it. Encourage transparency. Encourage authenticity. All right? And acknowledge it. Look for it in yourself. Look for it in your relationships. Excuse me. Oh, excuse me. Sorry, my allergies. Look for it in your atmosphere. Look for it in your relationships. And when you see it, acknowledge it. Appreciate it. Okay? And that's huge. That's huge in creating a supportive atmosphere for anything, is encouragement. We have that key of encouragement. Okay? Encouragement is sustenance. All right? If you encourage somebody in something, you're building them up. And you're building yourself up. How are you building yourself up? Because they're going to return that to you. Okay? And you're creating an atmosphere of support. Encouragement creates an atmosphere of support. Okay? Build trust. This is the last one. When you respect someone's authentic gesture or the gesture of being transparent, you're building trust. And when I think of trust, as like a Lincoln, you know those Lincoln log houses or even those Lego blocks. When you think of trust, I think of a building blocks. I think of a wall, or I think of not a wall or a barrier. I think of a supporting wall, a foundation. So every act of trust is like a building block, okay? So every time there is an act of trust, every time you respect someone's transparency or authenticity, and they come back to you in the same manner, okay? Say they come to you and they reveal something about themselves that they've never done, that they've never revealed to you before, and probably have not revealed to anyone or to many people. And you keep that secret, okay? Not so much secret, but you respect that and you don't share that, okay? And then you return that act by being open and authentic yourself with that person. Okay? That creates trust. And with each act of trust, there is a building block. You see? And each relationship has a foundation. And you want every relationship to have a strong foundation of trust within the scope of the relationship. Hear me on this. Within the scope of the relationship, because some people, we put too much trust in the wrong relationships. For example, your job. We put a lot of trust in our jobs, don't we? I saw a story over this weekend where a young lady donated a kidney to her boss and then she was fired. She felt so betrayed. And I'm not going to get into the particular little story. But if I was her, I would feel betrayed too. Okay? But we put so much trust in our jobs. I know many times people have come to work and the doors haven't been padlocked. You have trust that every day you get up and you go to work, it's going to be there, and on Friday you're going to get paid. We have more building blocks under the foundation of our jobs than we have under the foundation of our children, of our marital relationships, of our friendships. We have a huge foundation under our jobs. And honestly, those are hollow bricks. Honestly, if you take your time and you look at all those bricks that you have under there, some of them are repetitive. You have trust in the fact that if you go to work, you clock in, you get there on time, don't cause any problems, you get paid. And you won't get fired. Those blocks are huge. And sometimes we're sitting there holding those blocks in place, pushing them back in place, making sure they're not going anywhere. But because they're repetitive bricks, they're the same bricks. If you get a crack, they all crack. You remove one, you got to remove them all. Okay? We put too much trust in the wrong relationships. So you have to make sure that you have the right amount of trust in the right relationships. Okay? And your building blocks, these are not just for you. Right? These are for your relationship. These are blocks of trust for the relationship. You have to give some. You have to get some. Okay? But it's all about encouragement and respect. All right? So make sure that your relationships are strong. And if they're not, if you're in a relationship with somebody, there's only one block holding that sucker up, you need to look at that block and find out what it is. What is that? Why do I trust him? Do I only trust him because he said or because he did this one thing? Is that my only element of trust? Is that strong enough? And if not, you need to begin to build more blocks. Okay? And if you can't build any more blocks, you need to be looking at minimizing or letting go of that relationship. Okay? Because trust is important in every relationship. There's an element there. All right? And then you have some relationships you won't have any blocks under. And that's fine. Because you haven't gotten there yet. Or because they don't need to be there yet. All right? But and those are basically new relationships, but every relationship, even the relationship you have with the people at the store, you trust that you're purchasing a valid product. So you continue to go to that store. So there's a block of trust there. One little block sitting up on the Walmart or what have you. Okay? And again, this is a process. This is not going to happen overnight. But I want you to take the time to evaluate your relationships and look at those building blocks, all right? And evaluate yourself to make sure this is where you want to be. This is what you want to do. I want to be authentic. I want to be transparent. And I am going to consciously create an atmosphere for people to be open and authentic with me, all right? And I'm going to do that by leading by example, all right? I've made that decision, so I'm going to lead by example. Then I'm going to encourage it, and I'm going to respect, and I'm going to acknowledge, and I'm going to appreciate those who are open and transparent with me. I am going to encourage that, okay? And then I'm going to begin to build trust with them, all right? So that's how we create that atmosphere. That's how we create the building blocks for our atmosphere, all right? Now, Friday, we are going to end out this conversation about removing masks and being authentic and being transparent. So what we were going to do last Friday on Freedom Mind Friday, we're going to do this Friday. And it's going to be a little bit of a shocker to some of you, but this is something that we need to do. Something that we need to do. A little bit out of character for me, but it's something that we need to do. All right? So check back when it comes to Freedom Mind Friday. We're going to release some things aggressively. All right? So hope you guys have an amazing week. I'm going to get ready to get out of here. Again, Vision, Dreams, and Destiny Journal. You can get that at Amazon.com. This is a story. We're writing a story. This is your life, right? Remember the show? This is your life. You got different chapters. All right, so make sure you're journaling. And for those of you who've been sending me music, I got tons of music. I've been listening to music all weekend, at least for the past 2 days. So I want to thank you for sending me your music. There will be some new music reviews out for the 165 sound check, so look for that. Some amazing music that I got from some amazing artists. And some I found right here in Cleveland, which is crazy. I'm like, wow, these guys are amazing. So we're going to be getting into that next week. But Friday, definitely going to free your mind and free us up, free our soul from some things. Also, don't forget Universal Day of Grace, May 1st. We're getting prepared for that because April is the month of being limitless and May is the month of freedom. So we're going to extend grace on the first day of May so that we can walk in freedom for that entire month. I'm really excited about that. You can go to causes.com, sign up, take the pledge for the Universal Day of Grace and spread the word. I would like to get a couple thousand people doing this. Right now we got about, I think there's like 15 on Facebook and maybe, I haven't checked causes, maybe like 15 on causes.com. But I want to get the word out. I want to spread the word. You know, all of us together, we got thousands of friends. So share the link, spread the word to extend grace. And we're encouraging each other, right? And that's part of supporting your atmosphere. You want grace in your atmosphere. You want mercy in your atmosphere, but you definitely want some grace. All right? Okay. All right, I'm going to get out of here. You guys have an amazing Wednesday. Enjoy the weather. Get out. Have some fun. Spend some time with some folks. And evaluate some relationships. All right? And I say every night or every morning, afternoon, when I get up out of here, free your mind, relax your mind, get plenty of rest so you can dream in big, bright, beautiful colors, and look for your rainbow in the morning. I'm out of here. I see you guys back on Friday. All right? Have a good night.